Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our 9 p.m. English News Edition. Here are the top stories. The head of state meets with the president of Somaliland, Mr. Abdurrahman Mohamed Abdullahi Irro. For the international news, the EU lifts its economic sanctions against Syria. The details in this. The details of this news. Welcome to our newsroom, ladies and gentlemen. Prime Minister, His Excellency Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, welcomed the new President of Somaliland, Mr. Abdurrahman Mohamed Abdullahi Irro, this Wednesday during his first official visit to Djibouti since taking office. Upon his arrival at Djibouti International Airport, President Abdurrahman Mohamed Abdullahi received a warm official welcome, during which he reviewed the Guard of Honor of the Republican Guard in the presence of several senior Djiboutian officials. After the welcoming ceremony, both parties held a brief meeting in the airport's VIP lounge, where they discussed the ways and means to strengthen and develop bilateral relations between Djibouti and Somaliland. This visit reflects a mutual desire to foster fruitful and constructive cooperation between Djibouti and Somaliland, thereby contributing to the consolidation of peace and stability in the region. It is worth noting that Djibouti and Somaliland share a distinguished historical relationship marked by common borders, cultural and linguistic ties, and strong social connection. And now the President of the Republic, Al-Hajj Ismail Omar Guelleh, today received the President of Somaliland, Mr. Abdurrahman Mohamed Abdullahi, at the Presidential Palace, leading a high-level ministerial delegation from Somaliland on the 72-hour working visit to Djibouti. Upon arrival at the Presidential Palace, the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, extended a warm welcome to the Somaliland President. This is the first official visit of President of Somaliland since his election in November 2024, demonstrating his commitment to build strong relations and enhancing cooperation between the two countries. The visit reflects a shared intention to strengthen diplomatic and economic ties. Discussion between President Guelleh and President Abdullahi focused on the current level of cooperation and exchanges between Djibouti and Somaliland and on ways to enhance and expand them. Talks between the two leaders primarily centered on strengthening bilateral cooperation. Key areas of focus included the development of trade, improvement of cross-border infrastructure, and coordination on regional issues of common interest. The high-level visit is part of a broader effort to encourage joint initiatives for regional stability. The commitment of both parties to strengthen their partnership signals a promising future for cooperation between Djibouti and Somaliland, paving the way for closer collaboration in the years ahead. Djibouti and Somaliland enjoyed privileged relations nurtured by shared culture, language, and family ties between their people. The President of Somaliland is accompanied by a high-level delegation, including the Minister of Presidential Affairs, Mr. Khadr Hussein, the Minister of Information, Mr. Ahmed Yassin, the Minister of Investment and Industry, and the Minister of Youth and Aviation. On the Djiboutian side, attendees included the Minister of Economy and Finance in charge of Industry, Mr. Ilyas Musa Dewale, the Minister of Infrastructure and Equipment, Mr. Hassan Ahmed Ibrahim, the Minister of Communication in charge of Post and Telecommunication, Mr. Radwan Abdullahi Badon, the State Secretary for Sport, the General Secretary of the Presidency, and the General Secretary of the Government. As I said, on his 72-hour working visit to Djibouti, the President of Somaliland, Mr. Abdurrahman Mohamed Abdullahi, accompanied by a high-level delegation, visited the submarine cable landing station and the Djibouti Telecom Data Center, located in Haramous in the late afternoon. He was accompanied on this occasion by the Minister of Communication in charge of Posts and Telecommunication, His Excellency Mr. Radwan Abdullahi Badon. This guided tour allowed the President of Somaliland and his delegation to discover the advanced technical capabilities of the national telecommunications operator, as well as the many benefits of the submarine cables that serve several countries in the sub-region. During the visit, Mr. Radwan Abdullahi Bahdon emphasized the delegation the strategic importance of Djibouti, which is emerging as a major technological platform and an international hub for submarine cable transit and the crossroad of Arab world, Africa, and Asia. At the end of the visit, the President of Somaliland signed the Djibouti Telecom guest book expressing his admiration for the progress in the field of telecommunications. He was presented with symbolic gifts as souvenir of this visit, which marks another step forward strengthening cooperation between Djibouti and Somaliland in the field of information and communication technologies. Shared by Member of Parliament Mr. Shamarke Musa Are, the Committee on Finance, General Economy and Planning met on Wednesday, today, May 21st, 2025, to review draft law number 170, 90th legislation committee concerning the approval of the financial statements of the National Food Analysis Laboratory for the fiscal year 2020, 2021, 2022 and 2023. In this context, the committee heard from the Minister of Agriculture, Water, Livestock and Fisheries, Mr. Mohammed Ahmed Awale, who was accompanied by the Director General of the National Food Analysis Laboratory. After discussion of the financial status of this institution, the committee gave its approval of LANA financial statement for the aforementioned fiscal years and referred them to the next plenary session of the National Assembly. And now, as part of its effort to strengthen religious outreach and enhance the capacities of imams and preachers, the Supreme Islamic Council organized a training session on Wednesday morning titled Enhancing the Culture of Preacher and Developing Preaching Skills for the benefits of a number of imams and preachers in the country. The event was held in the presence of the Executive Secretary of the Supreme Islamic Council, along with several invited guests and individuals interested in religious affairs. This session, which the Council organizes annually, aims to improve the competencies of those working in the field of religious outreach by providing them with the knowledge and skills necessary to strengthen their role in promoting moderate Islamic values. On the sideline of the Islamic Development Bank's annual meeting in Algeria, the high-level Djiboutian delegation held a working meeting with the Director General of the Saudi Fund for Development, Sultan bin Abdurrahman Al-Murshid, during which a number of priority development projects were discussed. The Djiboutian delegation emphasized the importance of developing transportation infrastructures, particularly roads and ports, as well as the new Bieli airport project, given their pivotal role in boosting regional trade. The discussion also covered avenues for cooperation in the field of renewable energy, particularly solar and wind power, in line with Djibouti's effort to diversify its energy sources and reduce dependence on fossil fuels. A high-level Djiboutian delegation headed by the Secretary General of the Minister of Budget participated this morning in the official opening of the 2025 annual meeting of the Islamic Development Bank Group, which are being held in Algeria. In the opening remarks, the Algerian Minister of Finance reaffirmed his country's deep and ongoing commitment to the Islamic Development Bank and its goals, emphasizing the symbolic nature of the relationship between Algeria and this international institution. The Secretary General of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, Hussein Ibrahim, called for enhancing economic partnership. For his part, the president of this Islamic Development Bank Group, Mr. Mohammed Al-Jasser, highlighted the importance of cooperation addressing global economic challenges, praising Algeria's role and its economic initiatives. The Director General of the Djibouti Guarantee Fund shared his insight and impressions regarding the ongoing discussions and initiative at the 2025 annual meetings of the Islamic Development Bank. He emphasized the importance of regional collaboration and the vital role of financial institutions in supporting economic growth and sustainable development. And now the 22nd regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the Ethiopia Djibouti Railways was held under the chairmanship of the Ethiopian Minister of Mines, Mr. Tekenye, where the company's performance for 2024 and the start of 2025 was discussed. The report highlighted the improvement in the freight train cycles, an increase in passenger numbers, the availability of carriage thanks to local manufacturing. The General Director of Djibouti Railway, Mohamed Roble, confirmed that the freight volume in the first 4 months of 2025 is equivalent to the performance of 2024. The months of 2025 is equivalent to the performance of 2024, noting that it is possible to reach 5 million tons by the end of the year if this performance continues. The Djibouti delegation also paid a courtesy visit to the Chargé d'Affaires at the Djibouti Embassy in Djibouti in Addis Ababa, Mr. Musa Jama Ali. Sports now. Obok Football Club, led by Dato, achieved a historic milestone by advancing to the first division of Djibouti League after winning the season's second division championship. This victory is a source of pride for the entire Obok region. This success is attributed to teamwork, discipline, team spirit, as well as committed leadership at the end and the unwavering support from sponsors who have believed in the club's project for its early days. In a statement from one of the teams, officially praised the significant support provided by regional authorities, including ministers and members of parliament, affirming that this achievement represented a turning point in the history of football in Hayu and serves as an inspiration for future generations. He concluded by saying, "We congratulate the players, coaching staff, fans, sponsors, and the city of Obok for this honorable victory." Still in Obok, as the Red Sea Cultural Forum approach is set to officially open on Thursday, May 22nd. In Obok, the city is buzzing with excitement. Foreign delegations from Yemen, Ethiopia, Somalia and Eritrea are beginning to arrive, welcomed by a dedicated committee in coordination with local authorities. Organized under the auspices of Prime Minister's Office and driven by the Arcana Association, the forum aims to celebrate the shared cultures of the Red Sea through 3 days of exhibitions, debates, traditional games, and evening performances. Final preparations are underway, setting up booths, securing the venues, and conducting technical rehearsals. Everything is being put in place to ensure a warm welcome and smooth organization befitting with this international event. The official opening is scheduled for Thursday, May 22nd at 9 o'clock a.m. at the Independence Square in Obok. This forum marks Obok's return to the regional spotlight as the first historic capital of the territory and as a living bridge between the African and Arabian shores of the Red Sea. And now for the international news, as I mentioned, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres stated, "Without maritime security, there can be no global security." This remark was made during a speech at the UN Security Council. The details.
Nation calls for stranger action on global maritime security. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres said without maritime security, there can be no global security. He was speaking at the UN Security Council meeting during a debate on maritime issues. Guterres emphasized that all aspects of life depends on maritime security. All of humanity depends on the waters, ocean, and seas, from the oxygen we breathe to the biodiversity that sustain our life to trade and the job supported by maritime industries. Today's debate highlighting a fundamental fact: without maritime security, there can be no global security, said Antonio Guterres.
The European Union's lift economic sanctions in Syria, as I mentioned in the title. The details with Gasira.
The European Union lift economic sanction against Syria. The European Union will lift sanctions imposed on Syrian economy while maintaining those targeting the former Assad regime. The European Union's top diplomat announced on Tuesday that the foreign policy chief spoke after sharing a meeting of a foreign minister from 27 European Union member states. She said the decision was aimed at preventing poverty and radicalism in the country following more than a decade of civil war that has forced millions of people to flee their country, including to Europe. The sanctions are conditional and could be reinstated if Ahmed al-Shara's new government fails to maintain peace, she said.
And this is it for this 9 p.m. English News edition. Thank you for watching us. Stay tuned for more on RTD.